sung the title track on Saturday Night Fever that was released in 1977? So who sung the title track on Saturday Night Fever that was released in 1977? Listen to the groove. Question 2 tonight. In which soap would you have found the Cunninghams, the Richardsons, the Hutchinsons, and the Orbsons? It's going to be a long night. In which soap would you have found the Cunninghams, the Richardsons, the Hutchinsons, and the Osborns? I think it's because it's got like the Hams and the Sons and all of that, and I just melded it all together. It's a great start, really, isn't it? Number 3, Pop. 6, Squish. Cicero, and Lipschitz. A 6 women's way of explaining how they ended up in prison in which musical? A great song, that, as well. So Pop, 6, Squish, Cicero, Lipschitz is 6 ways of explaining how they ended up. 6 women's ways of explaining how they ended up in prison in which musical? Number 4, which pub name links the TV series of Minder in the film Shaun of the Dead? Number 5, which BBC radio station banned the song Relax in the 80s? So which BBC radio station banned the song Relax in the 80s? Well, a really weird thing. You know when you go to the dentist and they're in there and they're yanking everything left, right and centre? I've got that now. And every time I go to the dentist, it's always the corner of my mouth. It just feels like it's been ripped open. Number 6, Ian Sterling is the narrator on which TV programme? So Ian Sterling is the narrator on which TV programme? Number 7, James Corden, Rebel Wilson, and Idris Elba starred in which Andrew Lloyd Webber musical? So James Corden, Rebel Wilson, and Idris Elba starred in which Andrew Lloyd Webber musical? And if you've not been watching that Idris Elba Apple TV show Hijack, you are missing out. It's incredible. I think the last episode's on Wednesday night. Number 8, who starred as Axel Foley in the Beverly Hills Cop series? So who starred as Axel Foley in the Beverly Hills Cop series? Number 9, it's just a jump to the left, a step to the right, put your hands on your hips and bend your knees in. I know there's a rude version of that, but and bend your knees in time. Name the song. So it's a jump to the left, a step to the right, put your hands on your hips and bend your knees in time. Name the song. Oh, I've just realised Liz has got Jade back. Hey! Finally, for entertainment, number 10, SMTV Live was presented by Cat Deeley and which entertainment duo? So SMTV Live was presented by Cat Deeley and which entertainment duo? Right, round two with a bit of sport and leisure for you. Number one, 3 strikes in a row in 10-pin bowling is known as a what? Usually followed by me running up and down the bowling alley going, yeah! Not that I am in any way, shape or form competitive at all. But yeah, 3 strikes in a row in 10-pin bowling is known as a what? Number two, which athletics event might you use the which athletics event might you use the Fosbury flop? Fosbury flop. Number three, which rugby league team plays their matches at the DW Stadium? So which rugby league team plays their matches at the DW Stadium? Oh, yeah. I always wondered why it was called that. Uh-oh, hang on. You know it's bad when in the middle of the quiz your mum starts sending you, like, correcting you on questions. Number four, the traditional claret jug is a trophy awarded to the winner of which sporting event? So the traditional claret jug is a trophy awarded to the winner of which sporting event? Apart from my slight faux pas on those song lyrics, I think most of you have worked out what song I was going for. Number five, what colour ball is traditionally used in test match cricket? So which colour ball is traditionally used in test match cricket? Number six, hitting the centre of a dartboard with 3 darts will score you how many points? The complete centre, just to clarify. Hitting the centre of a dartboard with 3 darts will score you how many points? I know, Stuart Broad's retired. Sorry, I've just seen something there. Stuart Broad's retiring from cricket. Number seven, in which sport might we encounter a pommel horse? So in which sport might you encounter the pommel horse? And there it is. There it is. The text message I was waiting for. And they're obviously watching. Hello. Why are you watching me? You're supposed to be out drinking in Manchester. Says, yeah, really sorry, but can you pick us up when you're done? Yeah, no worries. Number 8, in football, what does the A stand for in VAR? So in football, what does the A stand for in VAR? The actual word, not the word that some people may use in its place. Number 9, a shot replayed from the same position without penalty in golf is known as a what? So a shot replayed from the same position without penalty in golf is known as a what? And finally, number 10, what appeared in the Times newspaper in 1930, which still appears in the paper today? So what appeared in the Times newspaper in 1930, which still appears in the paper today? All right, we'll wrap up the first part of the quiz then with 10 questions. Numbers are all the answers, and we only use each number once. So the numbers 1 to 10. There you go, giving you the answers in advance. So some of these you might have to come back and look at and work out, because some of them are a bit trickier than usual. So we'll kick off with the tricky one, which is this. How many federal holidays are there in America in 2023? So remember, I'm only using each number once. So how many federal holidays are there in America in 2023? They're bank holidays, just in case you're wondering how the equivalent would be our bank holidays. I must admit, it does look like America do tend to spread theirs out a bit better through the year, whereas we just seem to have them all in a big block. Number 2, how many of the same number do you need to get a Yahtzee? So how many of the same number do you need to get a Yahtzee? Very weird conversation about Yahtzee. In fact, I'm actually going to share this conversation with you a bit later on. Number 3, in the binary system, what is the largest number? So there's 2 numbers used in the binary system. What's the largest of them? I did turn the live chat off. I can't remember if I turned the live chat off. Number 4, Bring It All Back was the 1997 debut single for the group known at the time as S Club what? I've put the wrong year in there. You'll know what the band is, but have I put the wrong year? Yeah, I thought I had. Before all the S Club fans start shouting at me, one of which is downstairs in my living room. Number 5, how many different topics are there in a game of Trivial Pursuit? How many different topics are there in a game of Trivial Pursuit? Standard game, not like in total. Number 6, how many things is Rick Astley never going to do to you in Never Gonna Give You Up? I should have put this as the last one, actually, and you'd have had more time to think. But yeah, how many things is Rick Astley never going to do to you in Never Gonna Give You Up? Apologies if you, sat with tone-deaf people who are now singing this at the top of their lungs and can't actually sing it in tune. I do apologise. Number 7, how many times has London hosted the Olympic Games? So how many times has London hosted the Olympic Games? Number 8, a Roman charity racer. Chariot. Come on, change, you stupid thing. I think I misspelled chariot, and when I put it through the spell check, it's changed it to charity. A Roman chariot racer had how many wheels? Double check that, because now I'm doubting myself a bit. Yeah, that's fine. Number 9, the board game Othello starts with how many pieces on the game board? So the board game Othello starts with how many pieces on the game board? And finally, question number 10. According to the title of her song, what time did Dolly Parton start working? And again, actually, no, I'm not even going to apologise if people are singing this. According to the title of her song, what time did Dolly Parton start working? What a way to make a living. I just realised I don't actually know the words to that song. Right, okay, there's your first 30 questions. And if you want a recap on those, they are up on the website. Was the Bee Gees. I did the whole soundtrack, I think. Number 2, in which soap would you find the Cunninghams, Richardsons, Hutchinsons, and Orbsons? I've done it again. Osborns. It's Hollyoaks. Number 3, Pop 6, Squish, Cicero, and Lipschitz is 6 women's way of explaining how they ended up in prison in which musical? It's Chicago. Number 4, which pub name links the TV series Minder in the film Shaun of the Dead? It is the Winchester. I thought I was being all clever the other day when I said, yeah, I'm all fully prepared for any kind of eventuality, even for an EMP device. I said, my car's always got, fuel in it, etc., until someone reminded me there's electrics in a car, so if there was an EMP device, I wouldn't be going anywhere. Number 5, which BBC radio station banned the song Relax in the 80s? It's Radio 1. Number 6, Ian Sterling is the narrator on which TV programme? It's Love Island, which thankfully is finishing on Sunday, which means I can have my living room back between the hours of 9 and 10. Yeah, thanks, Colin. That's a really, really off-putting gift, by the way. Number 7, James Corden, Rebel Wilson, and Idris Elba starring which Andrew Lloyd Webber musical? It was Cats. Number 8, who starred as Axel Foley in the Beverly Hills Cop series? It's Eddie Murphy. Number 9, it's a jump to the left and step to your right. Put your hands on your hips and bring your knees in tight, apparently. I thought it was bend your knees in time. Anyway, name the song. It's The Time Warp. It's from my mum's era, so she must know better than I do. And number 10, SMTV Live was presented by Cat Deeley, on which entertainment duo? It's Ant and Dec. Not Happy Days. Cunninghams are in Happy Days. Yeah, no, I know Cunninghams are in Happy Days, but the others probably, those weren't in Happy Days. And also said which... Moving on, round 2, Sport and Leisure. Number 1, 3 strikes in a row in 10-pin bowling is a turkey. Number 2, which athletics event might you use the Fosbury flop? It is high jump. Or in my case, just flop. Number 3, which rugby league team plays their matches at the DW Stadium? It's the Wigan Warriors. So it's formerly the JJB Stadium, and then it became the DW Stadium, which I think is Dave Whelan. So that's where lived in Wigan for 3.5 years, and now I know why. Yeah, anyway. Number 4, the traditional claret jug is a trophy awarded to the winner of which sporting event? It's the British Golf Open Championship. Number 5, which colour ball is traditionally used in test match cricket? It is a red ball, traditionally. And I think they use a white version of it if they're doing a day and nighter, but traditionally it's red. Number 6, hitting the centre of a dartboard with 3 darts will score you 150 points. Doesn't sound as good as 180. Number 7, in which sport might you encounter a pommel horse? It's gymnastics. There is a specific, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. But gymnastics is the broad term. If you've put the more specific, you can have the point for it, as long as you can prove it to whoever you're playing with. Number 8, in football, what does the A stand for in VAR? It is assistant. I always used to think it was before. I thought it was a virtual assistant referee, but it's not. It's I can't even remember the V now. Video, that's the one. Video assistant referee. I thought it was virtual assistant referee, but there you go. Number 9, a shot replayed from the same position without penalty in golf is known as a mulligan. And number 10, what appeared in the Times newspaper in 1930, which still appears in the paper today? It is crosswords. Your numbers then, number 1, not many people might know this, so this has been in process of elimination, but how many federal holidays are there in America in 2023? There are 10. Number 2, how many of the same number do you need to get a Yahtzee? There are 5. You need to get all 5 dice to get a Yahtzee of the same number. Number 3, in the binary system, the largest number is 1, because it's a 0 and a 1. They use numbers they use in the... Number 4, Bring It All Back was the 1997 debut single for the group, and known at the time as S Club 7. Number 5, how many different topics are there in a game of Trivial Pursuit? There are 6. Number 6, how many things is Rick Astley never going to do to you in Never Gonna Give You Up? There are 8. Let me find them. I've got them here. Come back. Where have you gone? So he's never going to give you up. He's never going to let you down. He's never going to run around. He's never going to desert you. He's never going to make you cry. He's never going to say goodbye. He's never going to tell a lie. And he's never going to hurt you. That's a very solemn bow there, really, from Rick. Number 7, how many times has London hosted the Olympic Games? It is 3 times, 1908, 1948, and 2012. Number 8, a Roman chariot racer has 2 wheels. So some of them have 4, but when they're racing, there are only 2 wheels on a Roman chariot racer. Number 9, the board game Othello starts with how many pieces on the game board? It starts with 4. Another game that my grandparents and what have you taught me to play. Number 10, according to the title of her song, what time did Dolly Parton start working? It is 9. Working 9 to 5. What a way to make a living. And as I say, I don't know the rest of the words after. Right, there we go. That's your first 30 questions all the way. is nervous or timid in the company of other people is called what? So which word describes someone who is nervous or timid in the company of other people? They are called what? Number 2, what F describes an area of open land, especially one with plants or crops? So what F describes an area of open land, especially one with plants or crops? Sorry, I was just looking at it. I'm distracted by my Orajel because it's got a date on there. It says September 2017. But it's not some other date. Number 3, what word describes this? To move in one direction, especially continuously and easily. Hey, Team Beard. I've not seen you guys for a while. Sorry, just seen your score sneaking. Hey, guys. What word describes this? To move in one direction, especially continuously and easily. It's going to be one of these that you might need a few of these, and then you can go back and work out some of these answers. Just saying. Number 4, which 4-letter word means a building or part of a building where goods or services are sold? So which 4-letter word means a building or part of a building where goods or services are sold? Got a few too many letters there, Alan. Number 5, what did the H stand for in the former retail outlet BHS? So what did the H stand for in the former retail outlet of BHS? Here he comes to wreck the day. Had a poorly boy last night, so he slept in bed with me, and yeah, that's not happening again. Number 6, what can be analog or digital, alarm or cuckoo? Hello. Right, you sleeping in your own bed tonight?
No.
I think you are. After last night, you can sleep in your own bed.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No, don't put that on yet. Right, you go to bed. Say goodnight to everyone.
Bye. Good night.
Oh. Right, off you, Todd.
Are you doing the quiz tomorrow?
Yes.
See you tomorrow.
Shut my door, dude. Door! Number 7, Eddie Murphy. Oh, Eddie Murphy on the quiz twice. Eddie Murphy voices which character in the Shrek franchise? So Eddie Murphy voices which character in the Shrek franchise? Yeah, I woke up at one point in the middle of the night with Jack that close to my face, with an arm here and a leg like in a very precarious position if I moved. But he was a poorly boy, so. Number 8, in video games, EXP is short for what? So in video games, EXP is short for what? Number 9, something that is very bad or unpleasant is called what, beginning with N? So something that is very bad or unpleasant is called what, beginning with N? As always, number 10, what links all of the answers? So what links all of the answers? Some confused people. Some people confident, some people confused. Right, let's wrap it up. General knowledge then for you. 10 random questions, starting with this number 1. Current USA President Joe Biden was the vice president for which US president? Far too many presidents in that sentence, Jay. Current USA President of Joe Biden was the vice president for which former president? Number 2, which game was the original Game Boy's best-selling game? So which game was the original Game Boy's best-selling game? My mum and I used to fight over this game to who could get the highest score. That and Minesweeper. And I'll tell you, I'll come back to Minesweeper in a minute. My mum is watching. I'm not sure if I've ever told her how I managed to beat her at times on Minesweeper, but we'll come to that in a minute. Number 3, which organ removes excess water from the blood? So which organ removes excess water from the blood? Number 4, kids and grown-ups love them so. The happy world of which sweet? For the first time in a very long time, I don't have any of these in the house. These are usually my go-to to perk me up. The kids and grown-ups love them so. The happy world of which sweet? Number 5, in which year did Edward VIII abdicate? So in which year did Edward VIII abdicate? Number 6, what does a Wainwright make? Some people up here would say a very, very good pint, but that's Wainwright. What does a Wainwright make? Number 7, what does the G stand for in GMT? So what does the G stand for in GMT? Number 8, Thatcher's brothers and Strongbow are types of what? So Thatcher's brothers and Strongbow are types of what? Number 9, Hartlepool, Dungeness and Hinkley Point are what kind of power stations? So Hartlepool, Dungeness and Hinkley Point are what kind of power stations? And finally, number 10, what was the previous name of Sri Lanka before 1972? So what was the previous name of Sri Lanka before 1972? That one. Show, that one, show, publish, done, and done. Right, the last 2 rounds are up on JVPQ questions now. JVPQ. Right, got him. There we go. Right, okay. Right, let's see how you did then with the final 20 questions and your total scores then for this evening. In 3, 2, 1, here we go. Your connections round 4, number 1. Which word describes someone who is nervous or timid in the company of other people is called what? It is shy. Number 2, what F describes an area of open land, especially one with plants or crops? It is field. Number 3, what word describes this? To move in one direction, especially continuously and easily, it is flow. Number 4, which 4-letter word means a building or part of a building where goods or services are sold? It is shop. Number 5, what did the H stand for in the former retail outlet BHS? It is home. As in British home stores. Number 6, what can be analog or digital, alarm or cuckoo? It is clock. Oh yeah, I've just realised I gave away the answer to one of the questions without thinking. Never mind. Yeah, what can be analog or digital, alarm or cuckoo? It is clock. Number 7, Eddie Murphy voices the character in the Shrek franchise. It is Donkey. And in the morning, I'm making waffles. Number 8, in video games, EXP is short for experience. Number 9, something that is very bad or unpleasant is called what, beginning with N? It is nasty. And so, what links them all together? It's quite simply work. So, working my way backwards, you've got nasty piece of work, work experience, donkey work, clockwork, homework, workshop. So I'm looking back through these: workshop, workflow, field work, as in that's what a lot, farmers etc. do. They go out and do field work, and then other areas, and work shy as well. And I quite like that one. I knew quite a few people in the motor trade who were work shy. General knowledge then for you. Number 1, current USA President Joe Biden was the vice president for which president? It was Barack Obama. Number 2, which game was the original Game Boy's biggest selling game? It was Tetris. Yeah, may have slightly given that away. Never mind. Not like me to give away answers. Number 3, which organ removes excess water from the blood? It is kidney. Number 4, kids and grown-ups love them so. The happy world of Haribo. For number 4. Number 5, in which year did Edward VIII abdicate? It was 1936. Number 6, a Wainwright will make wagons or wheels. 7, the G in GMT stands for Greenwich Mean Time. Number 8, Thatcher's, Brothers and Strongbow are types of what? It is cider. Number 9, Hartlepool, Dungeness and Hinkley Point are nuclear power stations. And number 10, what was the previous name of Sri Lanka before 1972? It was Ceylon. So, Tot, your scores up then. 50 points available for you this evening. How did you do? I've got a tiebreaker then coming up if you need it. That'll be up in just a moment. Just seeing something there about recording something for the takeover. You don't have to record anything. You can just submit a single question or a single round. All of the options are there for you, so you don't actually have to physically take over, record, which some people have offered to do, which I'm getting to. But yeah, you can just submit questions. It's absolutely fine. Questions or full rounds. Or a full quiz someone wants to do as well. Anyway, right, your tiebreaker, if you need it, is this. When Guy Fawkes was discovered in the basement of the Palace of Westminster in 1605, how many barrels of dynamite were found with him? When Guy Fawkes was discovered in the basement of the Palace of Westminster in 1605, how many barrels of dynamite were found with him? My original on this, I was actually looking to find out how many people with him, and then I found out that there was a set number of barrels of dynamite. I thought that's a great tiebreaker question. So remember, as always, nearest to it gets the point. 3. And if you, nearest to it gets the point, the answer is 36. So we had 36 barrels of dynamite, which by all accounts, according to the article I was reading, it would have been enough to take out half of London, not just the Palace of Westminster. But yeah, 36 he had. Now, if you've ended up on a tie-breaking situation still, you know the rules now. It's rock, paper, scissors.